Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Louisa and I'm a Brazilian Dutch woman currently in Dubai. I wanted to make this video because during my pregnancy, which was 3 months ago, I really 3 months ago, like I gave birth 3 months ago, and I was learning a lot about it because I had a lot of time to research more about keto, carnivore, how it will do to your body, what it does to your body. And normally before I made some Dutch videos on this channel, but I think it would be nice to continue in English just so I can hopefully inspire more women out there that are also trying to or considering doing the keto or more carnivore approach being pregnant. So I wrote some things down on my laptop. Sorry that I'm checking away. Yes, a little background story. I have been following kind of like this keto low carb approach. Sorry, that's the baby on the background if you hear that, but he's in good hands, my son. But I've been following over the last 8 years a more keto approach, and this is due to that I was diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, when I was 18 years old. I'm now 30, and I actually, when I was diagnosed by the doctor, by a gynecologist, he back then, the first one, he said to me like, oh, it will be quite difficult to get pregnant. So that was for me, of course, back in the days, like I literally thought all these years before, prior to now having a baby, that I would never get pregnant. And I was like, this mortified, of course, like you really, and I think that a lot of women can relate when they find out that they have PCOS. But really good news, you can get pregnant. It's just, for my personal experience, it helped me a lot to follow first a keto, more like a keto approach, to now I'm following quite a carnivore approach. But yeah, so that's kind of like my long story short, that's like me going to a keto way, because I learned so much about this over the last years, that for me personally, being on a low carb approach really helps my body to thrive, to be in a full energy modus and not being like having a sugar rush and feeling bloated, and like basically also like dealing with all these hormonal stuff, which I had prior to doing keto. So yeah, I've been basically over the last 8 years keto, and then over the last 2 years I've been more following a keto carnivore approach. This is really because for example, I follow, back in the day, she was called the ketogenic girl, Vanessa Spina. She's also on a podcast, and now she's the optimal protein. She inspired me really, like eating more protein and the benefit of eating more protein. So 2 years ago, me and my boyfriend, we definitely had the wish to be like, me and my boyfriend now know each other for 2.5 years, and actually quite fast in our relationship, we both said to each other like we would love to have kids. And I told him honestly, like, but I do have PCOS, so it will be probably very difficult to get pregnant. So if we ever decide that it's the time, let's just already go to a doctor and let's see like what we need. So we just started the relationship, and of course it was already like from the first moments that we've met, like I don't know, like a few months later in being like in dating each other, like after 4 months we spoke about this topic. So we always thought like, okay, the moment when we do want to have kids, we will go to the doctor. So that was last year December, that we thought, okay, now it's like time to, you know, already go to the doctor, because we feel like it's time. We already know each other for a long time. Well, long time, some people are. So yeah, I mean, long time not, but at least we were already having like almost 2 years relationship. So we thought it would be nice or good to go to a doctor specialist, like a fertility clinic. So we went there in Belgium to a special fertility clinic. And basically the woman told me, the specialist, the doctor said like, well, if we would be checking you today, you do not have PCOS. So it's very interesting why I'm saying this, because it means that PCOS can be reversible. You can decrease the symptoms. Before going to a more keto approach, I suffered a lot from like being bloated, what I mentioned before, but also just not having a regular period, sometimes even months not having a period. And even dating my boyfriends in the beginning, I still didn't have a regular period. So that's why I thought, okay, now that we want to have kids, I still don't have a regular period, so I don't have a regular cycle. So it's good that we have to go to the doctor. So there was also a reason why we went to a doctor, because I believe maybe if I had a more regular period, I wouldn't go to the doctor with him. I would just think like, okay, I have a period now with PCOS. So yeah, so we went in December, we went to the doctor, and then well, and it's important, December 2022, by the way. So not 2023, but December 2002, we went to the doctor. And then when she said, oh, you do not have PCOS anymore, or at least now that we check you, you do not have it anymore. Just do what you want, do what you're doing right now, and it will all be fine. Because to be honest, I already thought like maybe we have to go for IVF or something like that. So when we heard this in December, I thought, okay, I'm gonna just relax about this. It will happen one day. This fertility specialists say it can happen. So let's just enjoy life and it will come. Then in January last year, we went to the States and fell in love with this beautiful dog that we have today, Capri. And I will put a picture in the screen. And I don't know if this was something that definitely affects, but I was just so with the dog. Like, she is basically our first baby and so wonderful. So I wasn't really focused on, okay, now I have to get pregnant. I was just thinking like, okay, in December, the doctor said it would be fine. And now we have this dog now in January. But literally, we came back from our holiday from the States and I got pregnant in the States. And I found out in early February, back in Europe, that I was pregnant. And so that's kind of like a background story. And going more in depth about the keto carnivore approach is that I was already more going for a carnivore approach, or I was already, due to like being the inspiration that she is, Vanessa Spina, following a more carnivore, more optimal protein approach. And this was definitely something that I was doing before getting pregnant. So I remember that over the last months prior to getting pregnant, I was eating at least 150 grams of total protein a day minimum. And I was keeping my carbs low, but once every week I was eating a fruit. This is also because I was reading more articles from Dr. Mercola that it's good also to do like, to go out of it, you know, to go out of your ketosis or go out of this whole low carb approach. So once a week I was eating like some fruits after a meal. So after a high protein meal, I was just ending it with some fruits. That was once a week, and for the rest of it, I was just eating more keto carnivore. What I mean by keto carnivore is that it's low carb, high in fat, and also high in protein. And I was eating for breakfast, for example, eggs with some bacon, or eggs with some, so beef bacon, I love beef bacon, or eggs with some salmon, eggs with some tuna. That was for breakfast. Then I would normally go to the gym, have a shake afterwards, a whey protein shake. Always go, at least for my personal experience, I always go for a whey isolate and either have it sweetened with stevia or erythritol. I've used a brand, I know that now, like shout out to Vanessa, I know that she now has her own whey protein. It doesn't ship to Dubai, so I will have to wait when I'm back in Europe. But yeah, so she has a very good one. But then whey protein, I always take whey isolate. So that was my kind of like snack after the gym. And then lunch, I would just go again like for either a tuna steak or just go for, if you would go like more keto, it will be then either like having a salad and then adding some good protein in it. This could be an animal protein. Personally, I've done a lot of fish. I just love fish. Being Brazilian, I love fish. But during my pregnancy, I was eating more like some beef. Of course, it's animal, so some more beef instead of fish, just because I was very craving it. Yeah, so that was kind of like for lunch. And then for dinner, always like high protein source, sometimes just again like tuna steak, or I love sea bass. We live in Spain, so there sea bass is lubina en español, in Spanish, eating a lot of fish. And then sometimes I craved like just some extra, like, I don't know, like these pavo, what is it, like chicken breast during I guess a snack that you can just put on the bread, but instead of the bread I was just eating that. So yeah, summary, it's the eggs in the morning, it's then a little protein shake. Then either if I was like still hungry to like eat something, I would just have some chicken pieces, and then always have some, that's by the way a very good tip, always have some eggs in the fridge, some boiled eggs. And then for dinner I would just have a nice high protein source of fish or chicken. I love grilled chicken, love it. I love the skin, high in collagen, very good. But yeah, so that was kind of like what I was eating prior to being to getting pregnant, making sure that I have always 150 grams of protein a day. And then once a week I did eat like a fruit kind of day, that I felt like, okay, I'm gonna do more like high intensity training, or more just being more active. I would definitely do on that day, I ate something more like higher in fructose, higher in sugar. So I was like going for like a green apple. I love green apples, or blueberries, cranberries. I would just go for like a nice bowl of fruit once a week. And during my pregnancy, my diet stayed quite the same, and I was craving only for like the first 2 months more chocolate. I have my own chocolate brand, which is called Funky Fat Foods. We have like keto chocolate. So I was eating this a lot. Only in the first 2 months, like I was really craving it, like after dinner, just having a bar. But after 3 months, I was just, to be honest, only craving animal meat, like meat. I was only craving meats, like beef, steak, from just like entrecôte, all those kind of things, a lot of butter and eggs. I was just craving that a lot, of fish nowadays, but mainly just beef. I wanted to eat beef all the time, crazy. But I think that I just was so just like really craving this iron, this very high protein source. And of course, for me personally, if I have an entrecôte that is a combination of fat and protein, perfecto. I love it so much. So that was just very like almost every day eating this. Then in terms of like working out, I did a lot of reformer class prior to being pregnant. So I didn't do a lot of high intensity training. This is something interesting because before, like a year before getting pregnant, I still did a lot of high intensity trainings. And I think for me, my hormones, it gave me a little bit of stress. So just months prior to getting pregnant, I was way more focused on just like low intensity trainings, such as reformer class. It's still a super great workout. I love it. I still also did it during my pregnancy, and I'm still today, now being 3 months postpartum, I am like still loving the reformer bar. During pregnancy, of course, you can modify it, so that was great. But I just love, you know, this burn that you feel in your arms, in your glutes. I love it a lot. So I definitely recommend this if you have any reformer studio in your neighborhood. If you are pregnant, still do that. And it's great because I think that one of the reasons why I'm now post 3 months postpartum, being already quite in my shape how I was before is because I was just following this carnivore diet, or just really focus on high protein. And really, I want to mention as well, if you're pregnant, you're dealing already with a lot. So don't be like on a calorie deficiency, or like don't be on a calorie deficit. Don't be on a like strict mindset of, oh, I want to lose weight. No, you do not want to lose weight. You want to like make a baby and a healthy baby. So eat in, I wouldn't say in abundance, but eat just how, if you go on intense diets, do not start. That's my advice. Do not start on a carnivore diet during pregnancy. Do it already before. Maybe it will help you to get pregnant. That's my advice. Just because it's so high in protein, and this is so good for our hormones. If you want to know more about it, I definitely recommend to follow Vanessa Spina, the Optimal Protein on the podcast. She is phenomenal. You will learn so much, really. But yeah, so do not start it during pregnancy, but definitely if you want to get pregnant, you have been maybe dealing with or like having difficulties to get pregnant, look it up, like do some research on it, and it will definitely give you, I mean, we, especially women, we need protein, and this is something that a lot of women maybe forget, like, okay, just eating a salad. No, we need protein to thrive, to get energy, but especially for our hormones. But yeah, so basically going back to the workouts, reformer class is what I did before getting pregnant, during pregnancy, and now being postpartum. And so yeah, I spoke a little bit about my diet, I spoke a little about my workouts, and now I just want to mention some kind of like a summary of the do's and don'ts doing a keto carnivore diet. So the do's is definitely do some research before, definitely go check out, definitely start a keto carnivore approach before you're pregnant, and not just starting any diet during your pregnancy. Just because you don't want to shock your body too much. You just want to continue. Well, how I felt was what made me pregnant. That's something I should also be doing during my pregnancy. You know, like what I ate prior to getting pregnant is what I should eat also during my pregnancy. It will heal me. It will like be great for my body. And it will be great for my baby. Also a different, something important to mention is do not count calories. This is something you have to eat because you want to feel full. You want to really nourish your body. So don't be like counting your calories on a carnivore diet just because you want to be healed. You want to maybe cure your acne. You want to get pregnant. I wouldn't recommend counting calories. At least that's not what I did. It will just be an obsession, and you will just not enjoy food as much as if you can just like eat in abundance until you're full, basically. So yes, that's just a short kind of like introduction video about this topic, about a keto carnivore pregnancy. If you do have any questions, please let me know in the comments or message me on Instagram. I will put the Instagram here. And I see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.